a first-run grocery store in a major city area with other restaurants coming in. Each of those are taking high risk, but they also are high return, and if they get the money in there, they're going to be paying high taxes. Now, at the same time, we're talking about a housing complex that is not one of the highest quality. It's not going to have fabulous pools and saunas and things like this in it, which every person's wanting to go into. This happens to be the lowest echelon.
And when you're talking about the lowest echelon, keep in mind what we want the viewers to realize, we're talking about one of the lower echelons of property tax levels, because there are different property tax levels for different property usage. So if you go to the Ramsey County Property Tax website, they actually have a listing there, and they have where you can click on where you can even see what the calculation, how it works, whether or not if a property is being used as multifamily, market rate housing versus multifamily, affordable housing units. They are taxed at different tax rates.
Exactly.
Because of the type of land use. And so when Mr. Bradley's talking about your return in your community of looking at property taxes, well, it all goes down to looking at what is the type of land use, and then what property tax category does that fall into. And so it does make a difference in how you are planning your community. So again, that's one of those details that the man on the street, so to speak, may not necessarily be aware of, that multifamily housing, depending upon whether if it's market rate or it's affordable housing or that it's some other kind of housing, they have different rates that they're being charged for property taxes.
Right, and also by the fact that you are not bringing anything in of massive interest for this area, it's actually not helping
in the way of jobs, yes.
Jobs or interest, because you got to realize the comparison between a housing complex in an area that doesn't have any grocery stores, doesn't have a gas station in the area anymore, because that's been driven out.
Right. What's the attraction for people to move there?
Right.
Oh, I know what it's going to be. It's going to be a light rail station co-locating with the Bruce Vento Trail. Oh my goodness. There you go. That's going to be the attraction. That's going to be what reason that people want to live there.
Of course. Of course, if you've read what they've said about these light rail, it's only supposed to be in the highest developmental areas you want to put those. And if you take a look at what's happened on University Avenue, they've been rebuilding the houses and the buildings, and they've been putting fabulously multi-storied apartment complexes right down University Avenue.
But that's a whole commercial corridor now, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Now compare that, of course, to the corridor that the Bruce Vento Trail goes through, which is all single-family residential.
And more importantly,
it's a different scenario, isn't it?
Oh, it is, but most importantly, I'm saying where they're going to put the station itself. The station is supposed to be, they say each station is a little nucleus of growth. That as you start with your station, it's supposed to be bringing business and industry and all that. Well, if they were planning that, and this was the plan from the start, why would you be building low-income housing there? That's where you'd want to build a campus for some major corporation, or you'd want to put Hy-Vee right there, right by it, so you can pick up your groceries and ride the rails down to your house.
Right, exactly, because the Ramsey County Regional Rail Authority owns the property where the Gladstone door and window store used to be located there in the Gladstone neighborhood. So for those of you that are familiar with the previous location where they used to be there in Gladstone, that land is actually owned by the Ramsey County Regional Rail Authority, and it was always speculated